LGBT, it's okay. So maybe the child is very good talent to give something more judge.
Will you write infidelity? So we don't have the experience to accept everything of this matter, and there's very few role models in this society.
So what we discussed was that I think we have very little chance in Japan to know about like not only LGBT but minority. So for example, like she live in UCLA, LA, Los Angeles, and there are lots of chance to know like minorities, but now how we have the opportunity in Japan. So that's one big topic. They're also like old generation, like 50s or like late 40s. They have kind of a stereotype that we need to have like children, get married like in 30s. That's beautiful life. So that kind of mind, so it's very difficult to change. So probably they are stopping, kind of have how to say understanding or appreciation of the like differences. And also what we heard was that in some companies like IBM, there are kind of official document in company how to come out LGBT and so on. There's lots of tools to know how to cope with your staff who are actually LGBT. So that kind of information, opportunity to know to cope with minorities are needed.
Okay.
That's a discussion. Then any comment on that?
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So knowledge, exposure, and forget about those older generation. Let's wait until they pass away.
We are discussed concrete action to create a society surrounded minority people. The first of was education for students, for us, and so education is we make real situation to
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I think that education is a very good role to change their mindset. To like she said that not only the wrong way to have a children, it's a good family way, but other diversified way of thinking. So I think then we can understand each other. There's a lot of way of thinking of diverse people, so we can start thinking about to understand each other. Not only this is good or not, but also.
Okay. Anything else?
First of all, in the session, the session that took place 20 minutes ago, you already talked about the institutional problem, like social security and others. So we basically focused on more mental things that could really lead to the real, acceptance of LGBT. And in that sense, education would be the concrete action, and the opportunities we are having right now would be the presence of more health athletes, both in media these days, and that is a proof that we are having more diversity in society, and there are more chances for us to recognize we are different.
What's half athletes?
The half athlete means that do you know Okoye Senshu in high school baseball? He's a Japanese descent, but he's somewhat African.
Oh, I see. Okay.
presence of LGBT people in mass media, but when we see these people in the TV program, others, the challenge would be maybe the queer people have too strong presence in that, we might have some mindset that LGBT, they are really representing LGBT group, but that could really lead to some setbacks. But that's what we discussed. That the presence of powerful people or cultural influence would be really opportunities for us to enhance the inclusion of LGBT group. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any particular specific examples of like presence of rich, powerful, culturally influencing, such as so and so?
LGBT people.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, because I think in the U.S., like as I said, Bruce Jenner is such a big deal, and Tim Cook in the business area. And I think once he came out, people said, well, okay. So if we can think of some specific examples here, who is a good leader and LGBT, I think that may go a long way. Okay, that's fine. Good. For education, I have a chance to give a seminar to the high school teachers at the end of September. So probably, if I have time, I can mention that. And because the idea is how to identify and develop the people with the global perspectives at school. So this is one of them, right? Yeah. So I'll see how it goes, whether they are the older generation in boxes or not. Okay.
We are discussing some points there, so they're not focusing on their single topics. So I will show you some discussing point. At first, we are discussing why should we take the priority about the LGBT, because there's so many categories like the handicapped people or Chinese people or LGBT people in this community. But why should we take the first priority in LGBT? We discussed about this topic because I think the LGBT have some power to say out because they have their money or some authorities. In other way, handicapped people cannot have their ability to get money, so they don't have their power to say out. So we think their money or their salary is important topic in this matter. Then after that, we are talking about their please support.
Teamwork. So after that, we started discussing about how we can make everyone included, and we discussed our personal stories and reflecting ourselves what actually we are feeling as an individual who is in that particular situation. And having said that, we started one acceptance of the fact that the person is different. However, acceptance is something after acknowledging the situation, and to acknowledge the situation, we need to know there is that type of world. So lack of experience is something very fundamental, and by having more exposure to the variety of attributes, we can be more inclusive. And also, at the same time, as an individual who is in that particular situation, I think we need to recognize our own bias in our hearts. So that's something we discussed. Is there something? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so our group, we were talking a lot of things, like one topic. But we, although we had to think about like all the world, we just focus on Japan for the moment because it's our country, we know a lot of it. And first of all, we thought that Japan has a stereotype. So we have to break the stereotype. So we're not talking about LGBT, but all of the discrimination that we have in our country. For example, race and woman and all those stuff. So, so first of all, we thought that we should get used to diversity. So for it, we thought that maybe we can bring immigration, or we could have more new education system, or mandatory seminar like this is what she talked about. So basically we talk about this. Other topic that we had is about what's the definition of LGBT? Do you want to explain it? So like we're talking that we can't define into these 4 groups. We can say that it's a rainbow. Maybe many of you know about this topic, but gender is not just like can't category into 4 groups. We can say like various, 100, 1,000. So we firstly have to know about that fact. We are not really knowledgeable of this fact. So what we have to do is to educate people. And she said that we should educate more like from the early age. Do you have some opinions about it? I don't come up with this.
We mainly talked about education system and from what age we should start educating children, and also talked about how about parents. Even children learn how they could be, and someone could find out that he or she might be LGBT. But if parents don't show understanding to them, then they face so much difficulty when they grow up. So we talked about how about parents too.
I'm sorry.
Was the toilet?
About the toilet, one more? Yeah, about the toilet too.
What's about the toilet?
So we talk about toilet for like 15 minutes. So
tell us what
so he was telling us that there's a toilet in Thailand.
From
He?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like there's like in Thailand, for example, they have like special toilets for how they have a lot of lady boys in Thailand.
What's the multi-use toilet called?
There's no name, I don't know.
Lady
boy. So I think like Thailand is more accepted society because they built those kind of infrastructure itself.
And we were talking, is it nice to have multi-use toilet and girls and boys, or
is it like the other way? Like it's actually like separating them.
I see.
And what do LGBT people think about the separated toilet? Is it good or not good? My gay friend said it's a benefit because he can get into the same toilet as the people that he like. So that's one of the opinion. But I don't know if all the LGBT people thinks the same way. So I just wanted to ask, how do you think?
Should I answer now?
Yeah.
Okay, so LGBT when you say LGBT, so there's a huge difference between like LGBT and then T. So, for example, LGBT people they don't really question their own their sex, the physical sex. So I think I am woman, like body, and I'm comfortable with it. And still, I like women. But in terms of the transgender, it's going to be changed.
Right.
So even though I have women body, but I am a guy. So my friends told me that every time she has to go into the female bathroom, she feels guilty. So she wants to use the multi-use toilet, but still, like she feels like she doesn't really belong to any of it. So that's the problem. But I don't really feel benefit about like going to the female's bathroom because like, I guess unlike the men's bathroom, like women don't see each other that much.
Or like hot spring.
How
about hot spring?
Hot spring, yeah. Yeah. Like Sakura like asked the same question. Like hot spring, like really, like I don't really see. Like it's gonna be a personal, like each one will be different, but like I don't really see, and then there's no one I want to see most of the time. If there's like I don't know hot spring with hundreds of like Victoria's Secret models, I'll be like maybe in heaven, but it's not the case most of the time. So I don't really care. I don't see people, so and then people don't see me, and then that's fine. Also, if it's the friend thing, going to the hot spring with my friend, I don't see. But maybe like when I talk, I will like see the faces, but like I don't see the down there. yeah. Still friends? No, it's not gonna happen. So, but yeah, maybe your friends are more open about going to the. Your friends told going to the same bathroom is a benefit, right?
Yeah, he said it's a heaven.
Oh yeah. So it depends.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's go to Nagoya. Yeah, there are people.
Hello.
Hi. So tell us what you discussed. Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed how we can create inclusive society in Nagoya.
Is Nagoya sort of exclusive?
Actually, in terms of technology, Tokai area is very advanced and innovative. But in terms of culture, it is still male-dominated. I am sorry if you are from the Nagoya or Tokai area, but I have to say that it's male-dominated and it's challenging environment for minorities. So we strongly believe that the key factor for the further success to keep producing and creating innovative service, we need diversity, of course, and what we want to suggest is to promote and attract, especially LGBT resources, people to live and work in the Tokai area. And we want to make Nagoya.
So to take the steps for making Nagoya as diverse or inclusive society, we would like to suggest the Nagoya as model inclusive city. So one idea we discussed was CV or entry seat. When I was in the UK, I wrote some CVs for the companies, and I realized I didn't have to write my sex, gender, or age. So I thought
introducing this idea to Japan or Nagoya is good way. And another idea is we were also talking about the facilities such as multi-use toilets, and then
and the city also we should recognize same-sex partners like Shibuya. And we also talk about we should have the rainbow parade, the #1 rainbow parade in Japan, and we can do all kind of things in the future. And we want to make Nagoya as a colorful and diverse city. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
In this group, I think we spend a lot of time first exploring the topic itself, and also sharing our stories, and also I'm so encouraged that we were not the only one to talk about toilet. We talked about it as well. And we talked a lot of things afterwards, different topics, but generally speaking, we discussed how to post a sign to be open or friendly. Because as mentioned in the earlier discussion, that it is difficult to explicitly acknowledge that I am LGBT friendly or I am fine with that. And I happen to have one little item, the rainbow item, which shows that I'm LGBT ally, but for mature adults, that's, oh, thank you very much. That's the,
Okay.
that's cute enough for my perspective, but for mature adults, especially going to a professional situation, maybe that's not appropriate for that purpose. So we discussed about those signs such as, what was it, like name card, maybe with a little note on the other side of the name saying, I want to be treated this way. I don't want to be asked about girlfriend. Instead, I prefer the term partner or something like that, so that everybody knows that how he or she wants to be treated. And then we extend the discussion. This is not just for LGBT individuals, because in the ideal situation, if everybody knows how everybody wants to be treated, that will be the best HR or the best society. So, for example, if I want to work independently, then I want to say, well, if I have my headphone on, please don't bother me, or something like that. It doesn't have to be an LGBT issue. And we talk about other things, how to support, and we need, like, for example, neck typing or drop-open or peers to sign. Again, the way to communicate how I am friendly without being too, what is it, obnoxious or a little bit inappropriate as a business professional. I think that's the things that we discussed. Is there anything else that we want to support? Yes.
Just to add me one thing, so we talked about a pregnant woman has a tag, maybe everybody know, and like that, then people can know how she wants to be treated and how should I enact before her, like that. So maybe open it first and give them some signs are important.
I see. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Okay, so basically we start with just sharing the experience or the perspective about the LGBT, that's highlighted in blue. And then we talk about like what we can do to improve the society for this the LGBT population, that's highlighted in green. And then the one that highlighted in red is more like practical action that we could think of. So first, the Singapore is actually, that's the story of mine. Before I came to Tokyo last year, I was in Singapore about for 4 years. And then actually roommates was LGBT. And then what I noticed in Singapore compared to Japan, as many of you guys know, it's such a diverse country. Actually, the economically or many other aspects, country actually opened their country to the world. So actually, everyone from anywhere, you're from South Africa, you're from Korea or Japan or any other country, actually, no one feels that much excluded the feeling in Singapore. So I think in Singapore, because of such a diverse community, diverse culture, LGBT actually they're really confident. They do have confidence. I have so many LGBT friends in Singapore. I've been in States, Korea, Japan, and Singapore, but Singapore is the only country that I met that many LGBT friends, and that they're acting really with confidence in work or even like party or even like many other aspects in society. So we talk about family as well. So many of us, I think here, I won't say all of them, but many of us here support LGBT, I believe. But if some of your family member come out as like a LGBT, how much we can actually support that the decision. So that's something actually we talk about, and it's not easy. And I think LGBT, we actually compare with the minority or handicapped people in the society. Personally, I think that when you hear about handicapped people, actually, if someone said, we don't support handicapped people, you will feel that, oh, what's wrong with that people? You know? But why not about LGBT? You know? If we consider them as a minority, that's something we talk about. So let me move on. That what we can do. So as many of you guys mentioned, we talk about education. So the uniform, the hairstyle, test on what means that in Japan, a lot of education perspective, there is such a biased way to test someone. One of our group members shared that she grew up in the States and they got education in the States. But what she thinks is important in terms of education for this LGBT is, someone who's very good at athlete or someone who's good at something really not academic stuff, college accept her as someone who has very special, ability or the skill sets. So, we should think about in education in Japan. Are those the only criteria that someone should be evaluated? Is that the hairstyle everyone should follow? Is that right answer hairstyle that all the middle school students follow? Is that the uniform that is like best uniform that everyone needs to follow, regardless of your interests? So we should think about that. And the startup here is, so as you know, I think Toshiba or many large corporations in Japan, they have such a history and they're such a large company with so many employees. It's not easy for them to change the policy, suddenly let's move on to accept LGBT people or something. I don't think it's easy. So we think about currently the startup is booming in the world, right? The good thing about startup is you don't have to be in the large structured organization. As long as you have strong skill or right product or right services, everyone won't judge you as an LGBT person. If they like a product of yours, if you like your service, they will like it. So we think that LGBT people maybe have more chances to be recognized as a society if they more succeed in those startup companies. And then rather than companies supporting the LGBT, I think it's more easier for government actually to support as funding perspective. Government won't judge much because you are LGBT, you can get the funding. Maybe the big company can do it because they do have all check boxes. If you're LGBT, let me think about that. So I think there are more chances there. So checking box is all the same. There are many form documents in Japan. I think we can remove check boxes. So lastly, I would say I was glad to hear that today Yurika-san mentioned that actually it's booming a bit right now. So it's cool, a little bit of cool things. Again, as a Gaijin perspective, in Japan, people once followed others, you know. And then if someone said good, then you want to follow. If the restaurant is good tonkatsu, no matter what you know about her, you want to go there, you know. Line up like long queue and then you want to try it. So if we can use this like booming moment, I think it's even more irrationally easier to make this a more popular thing in public, in terms of public understanding. Yeah, that's what we talk about.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
We are planning to make an NPO, and the NPO will support, will provide three services. One is to hold activities, for example, sport. In sports, you can forget about your LGBT, or you can beyond the differences. And the second is workshop at schools, because we believe that from younger age we need education. And in the third services, we also do some open sessions like this. And the third is promotion of uniqueness, because in the, for example, a lady working in Gap, and her company is about LGBT, because LGBT people has a very unique perspective, and also the lady mentioned about their ability to choose shoes. LGBT people know best shoes for the person, so that is very unique. And we found out that how about having shoes, and if the person wear the shoes, that means the person supports LGBT. But we can show our identity like supporting LGBT in a cool way. So this is our services which we our NPO can provide. And also we have a member who is working for LGBT NPO and doing internship. And so we learned many things from that experience. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think there were lots and lots of very interesting suggestions. And I think one of the things is that it is one aspect of us. And we often talk about it's very important to be unique. And so if we can make this LGBT as one of the unique features, I think we have it made. And it's a matter of, you know, the same thing goes true with being a woman or being a half and half in terms of nationality, in terms of race and so forth. So I think that's one way of doing it. And I understand the importance of education, the importance of family, the parents, what they tell their kids, because parents have a lot of influence to the kids. Let me ask Yurika-san about your reactions and comments.
To the groups?
Yeah.
Well,
overall.
Like overall, each group has like really unique ideas to towards the concept of LGBT group. So like I was just like surprised right now, and I'm really, I can be like representative of like LGBT, but like as personally, I'm really glad that now everyone is like thinking about those LGBT or like other minority as yourself, like as as one of your problem. It's like right now, like I get the chance to meet you right now, and then you guys meet me. So that means you know one of LGBT people in Japan. So I hope when you go outside, and then if you see the rainbow or the LGBT in the news, and then maybe you will think about like this event. Oh, maybe it's about her, or it's about him, or those things. So with all the ideas you made today and what you felt in this event, I hope you guys like make really good influence to like other people.
Great, thank you very much. quite surprising to us, in a way, to have so many people, particularly the first-timers. And because we thought that LGBT may be a little bit difficult topic to sell, in a way. Because I wasn't sure how many people would find discussion on LGBT attractive enough. But I'm happily surprised that so many people came. So that shows, I think, the very good starting point. And people are more interested, and people are more interested in how to how to create a society where every one of us feels included. And I think the handicap's the same way. You may know Ototake-san, and I met him, and we are friends, and so forth. And it's, I think he has done a whole lot in terms of the handicapped people. And because he's very well known, he's very vocal and so forth. So I think once we have a lot of those people, and we meet with them, and we get to know them, and I think that will go a long way. So I would like to thank Mitsubishi UFJ Research and Consulting to host this event, and I would like to thank Yurika-san to come and share with us your experiences. So thank you very much. Last but not least, before we hit the drinks and the food, we have this thing called Yoko's Bar. So if you come 5 times to these sessions, you're invited to Yoko's Bar. And I know there are some people who already have the card with 5 stamps. And if you want, come up and I'll give you the card and the stamp to show that you have been here once or twice or 3 times. And once you collect 5 stamps, you're invited. And we have done one Yoko's Bar so far, and I think we're getting ready for the second one soon. So with that note, let's hit the food and the drinks, and thank you very much for coming.